Hello everyone! Vogue Patterns has just released their Vogue Spring 2021 collection and it is divine. If you look to Vogue for runway fashions and unexpected details, I think you're going to like this collection. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you may have already seen in my stories where I matched up a few of the designer patterns with the runway look. You can sew your own runway look with these patterns. Have a look and let me know what you think. Vogue 1773 from designer Tom and Linda Platt. This is a loose-fitting, unlined, asymmetric jacket. The wrong side of the fabric will show, and it has raglan sleeves. The close-fitting lined dress has asymmetric princess seams, side hem flounce with slit, and an invisible back zipper. I think this is absolutely lovely. This is right off the runway. This is from their fall 2019 collection, and you can see a picture of the original on their website. Recommended fabrics are wool, crepe, ponte knit, wool flannel. This is rated average and it comes in sizes 8 through 24. I really like the seaming on this dress, especially with that little flounce and the asymmetric jacket. If I would have had enough time, this definitely would have been a contender for my Easter outfit this year. Vogue 1775 is a Badgley Mischka design. This is a close-fitting, partially lined dress with a deep V-neck that has a sheer front inset, a waist tie sewn at the center back, and invisible back zipper. There are raw edges on the tie and the sleeve hem. This is rated average, comes in sizes 8 through 24, and the recommended fabric is neoprene scuba knit. The contrast is a lace or a mesh, and then the lining is stretch also. It calls for about a 35% crosswise stretch on that knit. Looks like it might have a little French dart going there, which is very flattering. Depending on the climate that you live in, a long sleeve dress out of scuba knit might not be the most comfortable for spring or summer. Now, I did try to find what season this was from, as Vogue Patterns tends to use previous seasons' designs from this design team, and I could not find that, but I was able to find it as a discontinued dress on a couple higher end department store sites. Beautiful dress. Another design from Badgley Mischka, Vogue 1776. This is a close-fitting, partially lined dress with an asymmetric draped front with fringe trim and an invisible back zipper. This is available in sizes extra small, which is a 4-6, through XXL, which is a 24-26. It is rated average, and fabric suggestions are lightweight jersey, 4-way stretch with a 75% cross-grain stretch, and spandex. Now, I was able to find this one online, ranging in price from $99 to $300 under the label 133 Social. I adore this dress. It's so impractical for my lifestyle, and I'm going to purchase this pattern and I'm going to sew this. I like the asymmetrical. I love that long sash. I love the fringe. Fringe accents have been a trend for a couple seasons now, and this is a real fun way to add it to a dress. Now, I was not familiar with 133 Social, so I did a little bit of searching, and from what I could tell, this white dress was released around February 2020. And on Zappos.com it says 133 Social is an ode to the retro chic stylings of the 70s Big Apple nightlife. It was conceptualized and designed at the iconic Badgley Mischka fashion house, and the 133 Social socialite is a contemporary edgy trendsetter. I love that Vogue offers us the opportunity to sew a designer gown, and when we do have the ability to go to cocktail parties or gallery openings again, we will be ready. Vogue 1782. You're going to love this one or you're going to hate it. I think this could be very polarizing. I absolutely love it. It's a close-fitting through-the-bust dress with puffed sleeves with sleeve head, princess seaming, godets, invisible back zipper, purchased bias neck facing, sleeve slit opening with a hook and eye closure, and length variations. This is rated advanced and comes in sizes 8 through 24. Fabric suggestions are Mikado, and that's a very luxurious silk. I think I have seen it on metrotextiles.com website before. Also linen, poplin, broadcloth. Now look at the seaming on this dress. Beautiful, beautiful details. And I thought it looked familiar. I do believe it is a Alexander McQueen design from spring 2020, and I remembered seeing it on Pattern Vault blog. If you're not following that blog, I'll leave the link in the description below. It's a very interesting, informative blog for fashion lovers like ourselves. I am going to warn you, this one is a fabric hog. It takes up to 8 yards of fabric for the longer version. I don't know about you, but I am sewing this one. I love the uniqueness. I think there's a lot of opportunities with this. I love those big sleeves. I know they're not practical. And how fun would it be just to sew a designer gown? Again, thank you, Vogue, for offering this to us, the home sewers. Vogue 1791 is continuing that jumpsuit trend. Those do not seem to be going away. If you love jumpsuits, there's a couple in this release. This is a fitted sleeveless jumpsuit, has line to the edge bodice, raised neck, attached lined capelet, invisible front zipper, and leg variations. Love the front zipper, means it's easier to get in and out of. Now, this is rated average, comes in sizes 8 through 24. Fabric suggestions are stretch wovens, crepe, and satin. Now, this cape detail, this is something that has been shown on the runway, and it's really just a fun little thing. Look at what Chanel did on this little number. Think about extending the length of the capelet in the back. With the front zipper, you could easily do something on the back and make it even more dramatic. If I wore jumpsuits, I would be very tempted to sew this one. Lovely, lovely pattern. 1790 is another fabulous jumpsuit from designer Guy Laroche. This is a self-lined one-shoulder jumpsuit with an asymmetric neckline, French darts, invisible side zipper, one-piece sleeves with invisible zipper, bolero jacket, which is attached to the jumpsuit at the center back, has shoulder pad and two-piece sleeves. Oh, isn't this a lovely, lovely jumpsuit? This is from spring 2020, ready to wear. Again, I love that Vogue is offering us runway designs that we can sew ourselves. This is rated average and comes in sizes 8 through 24. Suggested fabrics are crepe, rayon blends, silk, broadcloth. And look at the original from the runway. It has this really intricate, beautiful beaded detailing on the bottom of the leg. 1777 is a dress from designer Rachel Comey. It's a loose-fitting, partially lined pullover dress with dropped shoulders, short sleeves with turn-back cuffs, bust darts, waistline pleats, and welt pockets. This is rated easy, comes in sizes extra small, which is a 4 to 6, to 2XL, which is a 24 to 26. Suggested fabrics are crepe, wool flannel, and lightweight denim. Now on her website, this is called the Tempo dress, and it's available on her website in a pinkish color and a blue print. I've also seen it online in red. The red and the pink are sewn from an Innsbruck, which is a suiting fabric that is consisted of 65% polyester, 30% rayon, 5% spandex, so an RPL. The blue print is silk. Just wanted to show you how beautiful this could look depending on different fabrics. I think the way they've styled it on the Vogue pattern makes it look a little stay at home, maybe not as glamorous, but I think this has really lovely lines to it. 1781 is a dress with a fitted bodice, stand collar, raised waist, A-line skirt with inverted front pleat, patch pockets, purchase trim. There are separate pattern pieces included for cup sizes A, B, C, and D, and there's also pattern pieces to make your own belt. Now it looks like there's grosgrain ribbon trim, and there's a back zip. That means you don't have to do buttonholes. You could just get to sew on those lovely buttons on the front for decoration. This is rated easy, comes in sizes 8 through 24, and the fabric suggestions are sateen, linen, ponte knit, and lightweight denim. I think this is a nice dress. It's got really good lines to it, and it actually reminds me of something that's kind of Chanel inspired with the grosgrain ribbon and the buttons and the pockets. Again, I think it's a lovely pattern. Look at the lines on this one. Choosing your right fabric. This could be a fabulous spring into summer dress. 1780 is a loose-fitting pullover dress with a deep V-neck, collar extending into ties in the back,
forward shoulder seams, long sleeves ending in cuff with button and loop closure, and hemline variations. This is rated average, comes in sizes extra small, which is a 4 to 6, to 2X, which is a 24 to 26. Fabric suggestions are crepe, silk twill, poplin, and lightweight linen. Now bows, they're having a moment again in fashion. Everything cycles back, and there's big bows at the back. It's quite trendy, and it's a fun little detail. Now the one thing about this dress that, if you look at the seaming on it, that front curve where the bust is, I think if you have a large bust, you need to be careful with this one. With that curve going down, it could draw your eye downward and make you appear as if you maybe aren't as perky as you'd like to be. I think this looks beautiful in both lengths, and that handkerchief hem really gives a lot of movement to this dress. 1783 is a button front dress and belt fitted through the bust. It has a collar and collar band, dropped shoulders, bell sleeves, princess seams ending in released pleats, side seam pockets, and length variations. This is rated average and comes in sizes 8 through 24. The fabric suggestions are sateen, piqué, and broadcloth. Now piqué, if you're not familiar with that, we don't see that too often anymore, I think. It's like a little textured fabric. If you look really closely on the white one, I think that's the fabric they used on this one. Now I think this has lovely, lovely lines. It's a beautiful take on a traditional shirt dress. I like how those princess seams, you can get a nice fit through your bust and your waist, and then it releases right below the fullness of your hip. Beautiful shaping, beautiful when you walk. This would also work really well with color blocking, which is a trend that I don't know when it is ever going to go away. 1786 is a loose fitting shirt and belt with collar and collar band, deep yoke, fly front, which I would call a concealed band, two-piece lantern shaped sleeves ending in button cuffs. This is rated easy, comes in sizes extra small, which is a 4 to 6, 2XL, which is a 2022. Now, why they couldn't have gone to a 2XL, which is a 24-26, like they did on all the other designs, I do not know. Now, I think that hidden placket is really interesting, and those are not that hard to sew. If you've never sewn one before, try it. Fabric recommendations are shirting, linen, and poplin. I love these lantern sleeves. You cannot see that because of the fabrics that they chose. I wish they would have emphasized that a little bit more. I mean, if you're going to have a fabulous sleeve, why not make it a fabulous sleeve? And this is just a really great take on the big shirt trend, which I talked about when I did my review of Vogue 1744. Love the fullness in the back. I like how they have styled this. I think it looks really cute with that little flare. I would probably wear this without the tie belt. I like that they've given that option for those that like to emphasize their waist. I like the flowiness of the back and the high-low hem. This is one of the big shirts that I will probably be sewing this spring. 1784, I'm sure you can already tell this is a Marcy Tilton design just by the design lines. It's a loose-fitting asymmetric shirt with layered collar, tucked details, left side pocket, and stitched hems. It's rated average, comes in sizes extra small, which is a 4 to 6, 2XXL, 24, 26. Recommended fabrics are cotton shirting, linen, taffeta, and poplin. This is another take on the big shirt trend. And while it is not my personal favorite, I know there are people in the sewing community that are going to make amazing versions of this. I do wish if they were going to color block it that they would have been a little more deliberate about it rather than the subtle stripes. It almost looks like an accident. It's got some cool details though if you look closer at the line drawings. If you're a little unsure about sewing a traditional collar with collar stand and a sleeve with a sleeve band, this could be a good option as it's just hemmed at the bottom of the sleeve and there's a beautiful stand-up collar that frames your face. 1782 is a Sandra Betzina design. A wide collared lapel, longish lined jacket with set-in sleeves, cuffs, and welt pockets. The front of the jacket is longer than the back. View A has a top collar and cuff facing that can be cut in a contrast fabric, and View B is for border prints. Now, I'm not sure why they said longish. That's an odd descriptive word. I would call this a car coat, which is a coat that ends about mid-length, mid-thigh. I also don't think having a coat that is longer in the front than the back is a good design. It actually could look like it's not fitting you properly. I'm not sure the reasoning behind that design. I do know that Sandra Betzina sometimes can be ahead of trends by a year or so. I found that with a number of her patterns, but I would probably even out the hem on this one. This jacket is rated average and comes in sizes A through J, which is a 32-inch bust to a 52-inch bust. It has recommended fabrics of medium weight linen, wool, and silk. It's got some really nice seams to it when you look at the line drawings. And this has 1/2 inch shoulder pads, which I think is a really nice addition when you're sewing a lined jacket, as it just gives you some definition, a little bit of structure in your jacket. That has a beautiful deep cuff. And I really like that one of this is designed for a double border print. How often do you look at those beautiful border prints and you don't know what to do with that? If you've never sewn a jacket before, Sandra Betzina patterns are typically very well written with the instructions. Also, if you are not familiar with her sizing, probably about 10 years ago, what she did is she has this today's fit sizing, the A through J, rather than the traditional 8 through 24. For example, a size C would be a 36-inch bust, a 30.5-inch waist, and a 38.5-inch hip. A size 14 would be a 36-inch bust, a 28-inch waist, and a 38-inch hip. What she did is she made the waist a little larger to reflect how women's bodies have changed over the years. 1787, a wrap skirt with shaped bands, asymmetric front, button closure with hidden snap, stitched hems, and sits below the waist. This is rated easy, and it comes in sizes 8 through 24 with fabric suggestions of medium weight wool, flannel, linen blends, and faux leather. I think that little dip in the front, creating that small V, is very flattering as it brings your eye downward, really shapes your waist area. I have to admit, I am not a fan of the long in front, short in back on this skirt. It just doesn't look right from the back. You will have to be careful about the fabric you choose because that will show from the back side. And I would like to see how much this actually wraps over. I'd be concerned about not having enough of an overlap and maybe exposing more than you wish. I also am looking at this thinking with the right fabric, this could be a super cute little cover up for your swimsuit at the beach. 1789, high-waisted pants, very loose fitting through the hip, has waist facings with boning, pleats, side seam pockets, invisible back zipper, and view B has a hemband. This is rated average, comes in sizes 8 through 24, and suggested fabrics are linen, twill, broadcloth, and sateen. Now, wide leg pants have been all over the runways for a few seasons now, and Vogue has a couple of patterns of wide leg pants that are similar to this. In fact, I reviewed Vogue 1661 about 6 months ago. I'll link that video above. Now, boning, that is going to help prevent that waistband from folding over and crushing. The pattern does call for lining, so I'm guessing that the waistband is lined and then you create little casings to put that boning inside. Probably not the most comfortable pair of pants to wear when you're seated, but I would tell you it would probably help with your posture quite a bit. I found when I sewed the previous pair of high-waisted pants, Vogue 1661, I had to remove about 2 inches from the high waist. So if you sew these pants, you are definitely going to want to check that out before you actually take the time to add all of that beautiful boning and shaping. It's a fun pair of pants. For me, this is a no because of the high waist and the boning.
That is the Spring 2021 Vogue pattern release. Are you as excited about this release as I am? This is Vogue as I remember it. I loved some of the over-the-top designs. I loved the details. There's so many that I wish to sew, even though I do not have an opportunity to wear any of them at the moment. I still think I'm going to purchase the patterns and sew some of them just for the fun of sewing it. Let me know what you think about the release in the comments below. And if there was a pattern in the collection that was inspired by a designer look that I did not find and include in the video, please leave it in the comments below. I would love to check that out. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I'll see you in the next video.